fresh off the beaches of South Beach in Miami in the Prep Baseball All-American game. We are back on the War Room here. I'm Shooter Hunt, along with the great Dr. David Seifert, who was locked in the command center, sending little notes over to me as I was calling the game for the third annual Prep Baseball All-American game in Miami, which was an incredible feat. I thought this was the best year. We made a couple slight changes, always looking to try and improve on things and advance, never satisfied, but an incredible weekend with about 50 of the top players and prospects in the country as the 26s take down the 27s in Miami to get some vengeance from last year. But Seif, welcome to the show, and thanks for watching.
Yeah, it was a great watch. I think I sent you a lot of hands clapping for good job emojis throughout, but it was awesome to watch. It was awesome to listen to. Obviously, you don't need any more back patting, but you were outstanding on the color. So it was a great all the way around. Everybody, players, coaches, everybody included.
It really makes it easy when you have good players, good families, good people, everybody coming together there. And what I kind of love about doing the color stuff is we spend so much time putting together boards with these guys, promoting the social media, all those aspects, to be able to put it front facing with a face, voice, and the talent on the field is really cool with some of the backstories, which become not monotonous, but like it's everyday life for me, right? Living I've watched Trey Rangel for 3 years. I've watched Caden Wozniewski. He was at the Future Games, whatever it may be. But moving past that, all the back padding, the play on the field was what really sells it. When you have great players, it's a good product. And that's why there were 70 plus MLB scouts there, scouting directors, decision makers. Like, this is a marquee event to come in. We'd love to put them through a great workout on Friday, going past into the Saturday gameplay as well. It just provides a really good look at what the talent is. And I think the talent is really good. And I would be remiss to not bring up what happened while we were there on Thursday, media day, interviews going off. We got Johnny Damon, we got Sean Casey, the mayor, Brandon Geyer, everybody all around with the media. And what's some of the biggest news of the day at a big draft event? The bombshell that MLB dropped on the scouting community, and the fact that the MLB kind of became the NCAA here. They dropped a dead period on the scouting community. And for those of you who don't know, the new scouting rule is basically labeled an amateur recovery period. So what's going to happen is that there's a blackout period for these scouts and high school players from October 15th through January 15th. There's no contact. Can't talk to the agents, can't go in-person scouting. So no in-person scouting at games, showcases, tournaments, workouts, or drills. No remote evaluation of any video or data from baseball activities that occurred during the shutdown period. This includes prohibiting teams from contracting with third-party vendors for this information. So I guess they can't talk to us. No contacting players or agents. Those teams can still conduct in-home visits and gather off-field information. For college players, this will be November 15th. Through January 15th, so it allows a little more of the fall ball action. But Seif, I want to get your thoughts on this. This was something we got, and what do you got on the shutdown?
I personally, if I were an area scout or even a cross-checker, which I formerly was, I like it because those guys, they work and work and work, especially the warm weather ones, California, Florida, Texas. They're working year-round, and they rarely get a break. Now, that said, there are some clubs that do take their scouts off the road to save on expenses. Usually it's like 2 weeks in August, after the July summer season ends, but before the fall kind of kicks in. And then they'll take them off the road again, between maybe Thanksgiving and Christmas, just to save, again, save some costs. But there are some clubs, and more than half that don't, right? So those guys are working, and they just deserve a break. That is a much-needed break. And it's not like it's this 2-month vacation or 3-month vacation. As you said in the last sentence there, they can still do in-home visits. They just can't see the kid work out. They can't collect data. They can't do anything. But they can sit down at the kitchen table, meet at a Starbucks, do Zoom, conference calls, whatever. They can still do that with the players, and that's a good thing. So I was at a junior college tournament right after the news broke, and I did talk to a couple of scouts. I've texted a few too, and they're mostly mixed on it because I think the downside for them is like, oh, man, okay, now that's 2 or 3 months we're not working. So what's the next step? Does this put us in like a pay cut situation? Like that's
Yeah.
right. That's the downside because now it's a 9 or 10 month job, so to speak. But I just don't see that happening. But as much as I say that, like they've cut into pro ball once, it was gradual cut into the pro scouts that are scouting other pro teams, not scouting the amateurs. They've cut back on the number of minor league teams, since COVID. So they are cutting the player development. They are cutting the scouting kind of gradually, systematically. So there might be that worry at the end of the tunnel, but I really don't see it. I really see it as a good thing for hardworking guys that just need a break. That's just the scout side, right? You're talking about the player side. They definitely needed it. They definitely need 2 or 3 months off. They need to be multi-sport athletes. They need that time for them to recover. So I think all the way around, I'm always going somewhere, right? All the way around, I think it's a great thing for everybody. I really do.
I immediately, when something like this comes down, follow the money. Like what's going on here? What are they still going to be paid? So I was like looking, what are the negatives? Because I had some negative feedback from scouts. Then you can also look at the positive side. Same thing that happened with the college guys, right? They added those dead periods for Father's Day, 4th of July, and some guys are like, dude, if you don't want to work, don't go out, right?
It's not that easy though, right? Like most of us whether we're in scouting or coaching, you're competitive, right? You want to get the edge. It's that extra edge, and that's what separates the great from the good and the good from the average, right? So you will work if you can work. So that having a break doesn't really affect.
No, it carries over to the business world too, right? I get 4 weeks vacation, whatever it may be. A lot of companies gone to no, you have unlimited, right? But I guess as an American, we're hardworking. No, I don't want to take these days off. Oh, you can take it if you want. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I shouldn't be doing this. And I think that forcing some scouts off the road, that could be a good thing. We will see what happens for it. It's so tough to create a calendar though with prospects because as you know, we start off the spring, right? In January, February, where you're starting down south and you're making your way up because it gets hot. Schools start at a different time. Different people get going at different times, right? Southern California, they are playing into December. Mm-hmm. Now, I actually think that they probably need more. Every time I see the high school teams there, where that's what's your off season in Southern California? Oh, it's Christmas, the week of Christmas. That is the 1 week, which there are times for pitchers. I think that's what the cold weather kids' secret weapon is. What's their secret weapon? Guess what? We can't go play games.
That doesn't mean they can't play games. It just means that Major League Scouts can't be there to watch, right? So it's not really. Overall, I think it's a good rule because it's not inhibiting anybody from doing anything. It's just stopping the scouts from being at those ball games between those time periods. And I'm not sure I'm not sure of the exact college dates, but yeah, it's just like the NCAA, like you said, college coaches, you can't recruit during this period, and it makes a lot of sense. Now, on the other side of that, the thing I've never understood is, I understand because it works, but they want to discourage all this, throwing hard, and they want to cure these injuries, right? All these Tommy John surgeries that these players recover. Well, if Major League Baseball quit rewarding it with drafting the guy that throws 98, right, for big velocity or big power or whatever, well, how do you do that? You train for it, right? Well, to train for it, you got to actually do it. So it's kind of a mess in that regard. But overall, I do think it's an improvement from what the situation was.
We're looking to make something work, get that progress. Hopefully something good comes out of this. We will see. But shifting over and right back to the All-American game, which was phenomenal to see all those scouts. And then to have all the players there, especially MVP of the game, Jacob Lombard, who's the number 1 player in the class, shortstop, who you got to see.
I may have liked him going in that game a little bit, right?
Yeah, and it's
I think we all did.
And just being around now those guys there, I think there were 6 or 7 that had won gold medals in Japan with Team USA. It was a tough travel back for them. You're talking 40-ish hours where I talked to some of the families. It was 2 red eyes with 2 8-hour layovers on the way back. So I don't know who's booking travel. It was definitely tough for them. A couple, I think Jared Grindlinger, who's the number 1 player in the 27 class. One morning I was getting up super early to do some stuff, and he was already working out in the weight room. He's like, I can't, I was up. I went down and got a workout in. So it was interesting to see that. But Jacob Lombard comes back. He's in his hometown. He puts on a show. It was just nice cap to what he did throughout the summer and solidifying him as what I think is probably an easy top 5 pick, but probably a good chance right now walking away saying he's 1-1. He was our first pick in the mock draft, walking away from that. But he made 2 sensational plays.
Oh, I know. After he made the first one, like, how are you supposed to make a better play than that with the bare hand? Like, that is a major league play. That is something a good major league shortstop makes. And Lombard made it look, I say easy, but he didn't make it look hard. And then he came back with the other one. I'm like, jeez. So, yeah, he's special talent. I think 1-1 is a very fair prediction at this point in the game.
Single off the bat, a firm single in his first at bat. I just felt good for you to be in your home city, kind of shut down. He's not going to be playing soccer this year, which he was a really good soccer player. I don't think it's going to be understand, like I'm sure most teams know by this point just how good of an athlete he is. But he's going to walk away from soccer this year, kind of get after it in the offseason with his brother and his dad coming home from Detroit. But it was just a really nice cap to the end of that season. I thought he did a really nice job for himself in front of everybody. The Rockies at 1-1, who's going to be the first pick this? I guess we have the lottery now, so we have to actually tune in.
They got the best chance what the White Sox did last year, and they ended up picking 6 or 7. So you never know.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought he was outstanding, and kind of going through. I want to start with the pitching side of things. Just kind of go through some guys because Caden Wechter comes from that gold medal. Had a great summer. I think he's I think now our number 2 right-hander in the class behind Borthwick, who we'll get to in a second. He set the tone, goes out, ho-hum, 90, 91, 93 plus. It's an electric fastball, really good mover. I was talking to some of the scouts about him. Like, he plays shortstop at Jesuit High School. Like, he's their dude. Like, he goes out there, he and Wilson Anderson, another big-time arm in this class, they get after it as athletes. And I think that's what guys are going to love most about him. His slider's going to continue to take up. He's got a chance to kind of dive into that, I'd say 20 to 35 range. Like, if the slider really takes up and turns into a 6+ type pitch, you're looking at a guy who we need to take in the 25 to 30 range. And Seif, this high school class we talked about on the draft episode 2 years ago, the right-handed side, I thought, hey, there's tons of depth in the tier 2. Like, you can get a ton of value in like the late second round, third round. There's going to be a lot of guys there. This year, there's a lot of tier 1 guys where those right-handers, you're going to have to push forward a little bit earlier or at least raise the level of signing bonus because the talent level is higher. And these guys are really good. I think Wechter reaffirmed himself at this game. Really helps when you have Jacob Lombard making a play. I think he walked the first guy on Grant Westfall, who we'll get to in the 27 class, who was outstanding. He does like a 9-10 pitch at bat, ends up in a walk. So now you're like trying to fight back. You flew back from Japan. Lombard makes the play, and I was doing the call. And as a pitcher, deep breath, Lombard makes the play, 2 outs. Like, this is almost an auto strikeout. Like, I'm putting this away right now. I got 2 outs. He just made a great play. Wechter did that. Elite talent. I don't know if you got a chance, like probably a little worn down, just wrapping up his spring. He actually had to go to school on Thursday and Friday to get over to the game. Eli Hurst came in, big 6'6" kid from Washington. Velocity has not jumped yet, but the mound presence clearly there. He moves really well. 3-pitch mix, hung us a 2-strike pitch, which kind of backed him up in that inning, but was able to get out. I love the upside. I don't know if you had a chance to check him out. He's a Vanderbilt recruit.
I thought his breaking balls blended together.
Yes.
Not to be critical, but they were kind of this, 74 to 77. Yeah, I can see the more hump. Yeah, I can see more slide, but they can't, for the most part, they blend together. But, 89 sinker, he's throwing, to me, it looked like a 2 and a 4, but that's just me watching. I mean, he had some good 89s with sink, and then he rode some up in the zone, higher RPM. But yeah, 6'6", 220. There's a lot to like there, especially what I saw. He repeated his delivery well, especially for 6'6" guys. So when it all comes together, the delivery's already come together. But when you see the strength gains, I think that fastball bumps in the low 90s, and now he's elevated himself a tier for next summer's draft.
Look at you! You're like a professional command center guy now. That was excellent. Just watching the game.
Hey, you guys were so good, like giving me some intel, and my eyes see what my eyes see. But back to Wechter. I loved him. I'd seen him earlier in the summer and loved him then. But, man, he did struggle with control early. But he struggled, for my eyes, he was struggling with the life of his fastball. He really wasn't struggling with his control. It was just getting right. It was just running too much or doing too much. And once he got him out and then Lombard made that play, you're right, he just relaxed and like, okay, here we go. But man, he was super impressive. the cutter slider, call it what you want. It was more sliding at times, or cut. It's kind of blending a little bit too. But like it's there. It's a real pitch, and it showed feel for a really nice change that he subtracted some spin on. So yeah, I led it off with the 26s led off with two really good arms.
Yeah, and what's cool is I was able to interview almost every kid there, so you get a little idea of the makeup. This is like, what do you do with your pitches? And then even Hurst, like you talk about, like he goes, Kevin Gunderson out here in Oregon does a great job. Like, hey, there's a lot of quietness to the delivery, repeatable, the blending of the breaking balls. I talked about that with him. Like that's gonna be your next. That's his next level. Right? Whether it happens in the spring, the velocity is going to come. It is that slider or the break, whatever breaking ball he decides to go with, that will take him to that next level, which I'm sure Coach Scott Brown at Vanderbilt's hoping happens once he gets to Nashville. We will see what happens with him, but another nice outing from him. Drew Christine, whose velocity was a little further down from what he was at East Coast Pro, but he was a lefty, moves really well, right? I don't know if you were looking at him, like there's 40 plus pounds that this kid can put on. Really nice to talk to, has the feel for spin, was kind of manipulating a little more sweep versus the top and bottom breaker. And that's something I like about him. It's a starter profile. He wasn't pinpoint with his control by any means, but like got out of the inning, did a really nice job. I don't know what you saw from him.
No, I really like projection lefty. I mean, you hit it on the head. Kind of in a ways, and a rabbit. I mean, you and I were, hate to pat ourselves on the back, but like we were high guys, I think, in the industry.
You were.
Like I had him as a first rounder, like, and whatever. But there's some Abbott in him. Just he's a slender frame projection lefty. He's 88, 90. He wrote it up. He can spin it. He's got that wide breaking slurve with pretty good high spin. And the most impressive thing is he subtracted a lot of spin. He was going from 2500s to 1600s on his changeup. So obviously there wasn't really a present pitch to get outs versus really good hitters, and that's what he was seeing, right? Like he saw all really good hitters.
Yeah.
But there is a lot there to get really good, really quick. And there's no reason he can't, he can't become a top 50 overall type of guy that's considered for, next summer, but a lot to like for sure.
And he's got a feel for the break ball. I think firming it up right now, it's a little bit soft. He can add a little velocity to it. I'm just going to go through his data sets because he was like, for the most part, let's say 88 to 91, but you're looking at 2,500 average on the fastball, average IVB of 20.8. So like pretty good there. The extension, average extension of 7.7. So there's some data sets here I'm looking at.
7.7. That's
7.7 on here. We'll have to check on that. But
yeah, that I mean, like I'm not down Mr. Hawkeye there, but yeah, that's elite though.
We'll have to check on that. Eli Hurst was at 7.1, so like you expect that kind of out of him from a 6'6" frame.
Are you sure Drew Christine wasn't jumping off the mound like the reliever?
Yeah, the Braves guy.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to check on that. I'll go back and check the video, but interesting to see him. And then Sean Duncan hopped on the broadcast, and we proceeded to have the quickest innings I've ever seen. So Blake Bryant, who was obviously one of my favorite arms of the summer, we've been eyeing him. We've talked about him almost ad nauseum because of how good he is.
He was impressive.
Oh, it was quick, easy starter profile. You know what I found out, Seif? He's an absolute bucket on the hardwood.
I like ballers.
I like interview. I was like, okay, you're 6'6", you're good. Like, are you moving around? He's like, no, I can go out and stick it. Like, I'm getting ready to hoop. He was like inviting me down to South Georgia to come see him put up numbers.
Another Cam Appenzeller amongst us here. Yes.
There you go. But that's what do you initially think of? I'm like, oh, well, will this get him to campus? What's he going to be doing throwing program wise? But he looked great. Quick, easy inning out of him. Huge fan. Tyson Grokowski, who shout out to Tyson Grokowski. We had one arm that had come down. Grokowski, I've been eyeing all summer. Like, I love this kid. Why, Seif? Low slot, ride. It's electric stuff. And then I'm looking over. I'm like, these breaking balls are coming out at 3,000 plus. Like, this is a real sweepy slider. And what was cool about interviewing him, one, he's huge. He's what you expect coming out of Wisconsin, right? It's like square shouldered. This guy, and he said he played tight end in football. And for as quiet and respectful as he is, there was an aura of confidence that was really exciting to see. Like
that was just watching like you met with him, you sat with him, and you saw that aura there. for me, I saw it live or not live, but like live on the stream, right? Like he owned that mount. I mean, it was I own this 3 up, 3 down, aggressive, just through strikes. And the best part about it is it was deceptive, right? Like some guys look pretty doing it, whatever. Man, it was a nasty slot and was good deception. He's South Florida's going to steal there for sure.
Yeah, and like just came out of hand so well. He reminded me of Peter Crusau, who was at the Future Games or Super 60 this year. Another Wisconsin kid, kind of deceptive stuff, who signed for, I believe, 7 figures. Like it was kind of similar. The two of them, I don't know what they're doing up there in Wisconsin, but you're looking at a fastball coming from a low slot. Let's see, he was release height average was at 5 feet, and you're talking about 2679 on the height of the RPM. 2568 was the average, and this is on a 91 mile an hour fastball. Like that velo is going to jump up. I'd expect him to be mid, if not upper 90s at some point. And then you flash along that 3,000 plus RPM and a good changeup. Plus you add in the makeup. I think guys are going to love going into his house and chatting with him during that off period, right? Make the most of it, November 15th through January 15th. But moving forward, Trey Rango, who, I mean, I thought it was one of his better outings. Like he went out there, commanded the zone, and he ripped off some absolute bangers as well. And that sinking, like when he discovers what he can do with that sinking fastball, even to the top of the zone, kind of reminds me of what the Yankees are doing right now with like Will Warren, some of those guys with what they're able to do within that pitching development. Shout out, obviously biased Yankees fan here, talking only Yankees player development, but yeah, he was outstanding. What do you see from him? Like not the biggest kid, but like there's moxie beyond. Like there's so much good that he is going for him. What would you say would be his draft profile round wise?
Well, like if I just profile him as a reliever starter, I guess because that helps you put him in and around, right? Like relievers go after starters.
Yep.
He's definitely got the reliever look with the lower release point. But, man, he has some special pitches. He's got the ride up in the zone. His breaker, as you said, it's just a major weapon. I mean, you could have thrown a 70 on it, a couple of those he ripped off. Mm-hmm. And even more impressive, and he was on his A game, don't get me wrong, but he threw that slider to both sides of the plate. So it wasn't like he was only ripping it off his glove side, right? And if he's missing wide. He was backdooring it, and ripping off the fastball up to 96. I know he's been up further. But to get back to your question is, right now he is in my second or third round bucket. And if he cleans up that delivery a little bit, just more starter-esque, right? Just a little more cleaner, looser, more direct to the plate, things we're all looking for here. Then that's why he gets in that 25 to 35 kind of where you put Wechter, when we talked earlier. But man, he was super impressive. That was a really good inning he threw.
And he kind of rolled out a bunch of super because Gannon Grant comes in behind him. I'm going to like continue to say this, but Indiana jump shots and power fastballs, like Gannon Grant comes out and he's up to 96, but he's ripping off some gross sliders from up top. I think he had slider and curveball, a quick inning. It's kind of a funky move. Like it's just short, quick arm because he's a really good athlete. Also plays shortstop. He's a good hitter. So the athleticism for him was something that to me, like, hey, he's continuing to elevate himself. He's really good at East Coast Pro. I think he could be another big guy. Like this is what I'm talking about, like the tier 1 guys.
Oh, I'm with you. My notes from him, I thought he on that look again. I get one inning look, right? So on that look, he's a top 50 overall pick. That's what I saw. I mean, he's 3 up, 3 down, and I don't know if you remember his last pitch. It was just unfair. He got a sword on a slider from a good hitter. It was just unfair. So
I said like it might be the best secondary pitch in the class. And now like he might have had one. We'll talk about Cole Kinniger. He might have the best secondary. We had just talked about Trey Rangle. You can't not talk about Trey Rangle. But let's go right to Cole Kinniger because
let's go.
He swung it well, big physical, 6'3", 205. I keep calling him the Texan Billy Carlson. Billy was super wiry, two-way, could do it all. Cole Kinniger is Texas, like right DFW. He's going to be 6'3". It's bigger, power stuff, but it's another two-way type guy. I've always envisioned like this is a straight up shortstop. Like I got no time for pitchers. We'll figure you guys out some other time. Cole Kinniger might be like a frontline type guy though. You start looking at like those Evaldi types. Now it's not the same arm action, but it's the same big
super short.
Yeah. But he was ripping off some absolute bangers. This is probably the best that I've seen it. And I've seen it pretty good.
Yeah, I mean all those guys had pretty much a go-to pitch, swinging this pitch. Christine, we talked about more projection, but yeah, Koninger, he had 2 swing miss pitches, right? Like he's riding the fastball up, great carry to the plate, and he's got the plus slider with late tilt. I mean, it was unbelievable pitch. So yeah, I'm not sure. I got a good look at him hitting. Didn't see any, on the defensive end, obviously from my angles or whatever, but super talented, two-way talent. We'll kind of see where it takes him. He could be another. Who's a guy that was at TCU years ago? He's a right-handed pitcher and a power hitter. He ended up being more of a pitcher only, but
it's a nice side project, though, huh?
Yeah. Where's Kenninger signed to go?
Kenninger's Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Not on purpose, but there seem to be a lot of Tennessee recruits there.
Oh,
like
every other guy, yeah.
There's almost too many Tennessee guys. No offense. They're doing a great job there. But I'd be remiss. Chase Kiker, who North Carolina product from Clemson, I interviewed him. And what's fascinating about him is that he's got a disgusting knuckleball. And I sat down. He had thrown an East Coast Pro. I saw it there. He threw it at Lake Point a few weeks ago. I said, "You won't throw it first pitch," and he threw it first pitch. So
he did. I thought he threw it last pitch. He threw it first pitch too.
First pitch. He may have thrown it last pitch as well.
I think
he also swung it well. So he went through the workout BP. It's not quite Josh Hammond, like what Hammond was, but he's a good hitter. And we internally huge fan of Chase Kiker, right? All he does is win. He goes out there and competes. And we've talked with Brandon Hall. I'm like, what? This kid could easily go off to Clemson. We're looking at a second rounder because all he does is dominate. And he hopped out there, had 2 quick outs, and then I talked to him. He's had a 3-2 walk, which led to a sneaky run. I think that's where Seward had his backside inside the park home run that we'll get to here in a second. But I was because he's so competitive, I could have that combo with him. I know you were kicking yourself because I would be doing the same thing. But he swung it well. He's a really good athlete. It's a mid-90s fastball, good slider. And then the knuckleball, in this day and age of analytics where every team has a scouting report, this pitch is coming here, to put that little bit of doubt into a hitter's mind about what pitch is coming. I think that is just so paramount right now. You just have to continue to insert just a little bit of inception and all that doubt into the hitters.
Yeah, I really liked him. He was the guy that really stood out as they're all going to, if they all went to college, they'd all be, impact freshmen. But Kiker in particular, when I'm watching him, I'm athletic, two-way guy. But as a pitcher, I just think he would be an immediate impact, Saturday starter for Clemson, as a freshman.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And if you talk to him, you're around him, oh, that dude, he's ready to go at all times. He's going out there, he's a bulldog. But those were the 26s from the pitching side. On the position player side, kind of the standouts for me, Bo Peterson really established himself and really made a first round statement. And it's going to be tough to do. He's a third baseman, although he pitches. Maybe you can give him a chance at shortstop. He's more third base. I keep saying Alex Gordon because he's from that region of the country as Alex Gordon was, but it's just super come through the cornfields, no batting gloves. I can move the barrel around, super loose wristed. He put on a show on BP to the tune of, I had a couple of scouts saying, were you guys using juice balls? And I look at him, I was wait, why do people think this? Oh man, they're that velo's too high. I'm oh, because I have a degree that I can go into the TrackMan and fix it, right? I am, yes, I understand my 2-lane degree, very strong, go green wave, but I am not smart. That is not something that I can do. I'm lucky enough that I can open Excel on my computer.
Stop.
But Bo Peterson, Seif, you didn't get a chance to see the home run derby. He capped it off. And it was probably the furthest ball I've seen hit in 2 years there in Miami. He just absolutely hammered it. Then he goes backside on a double.
That's the one. And he showed his power there, even though it stayed in the park. Yeah, he absolutely ripped that ball.
Oh, he ripped it and has the field to try to go to third. We're trying to keep this game moving. Gets thrown at third. Thank you. Shout out to Bo Peterson. That's good feel. That's a nice spring training move. We can hit the links, but.
Never make the third out at third base, though, Shooter. You still liked it, even though he cardinal sin right there, huh?
Cardinal sin, except in spring training site, we're trying to get to the golf course. This is one of those points where I hit my double. We're not winning triples titles. We're winning doubles titles. I need to get thrown out. I let the shortstop show off his arm.
Hey, but you were still in your prime during your color was still priming it up during that time too. So you didn't need a break. I get you.
A professional hitter. And when it comes down to it, he can really swing the bat. He's from Kansas, and this guy absolutely rakes. So teams are going to have to decide. And because you tell me, like with the third base profile, I was trying to think like Nolan Gorman went in the first round 2018. I was trying to think of high school third baseman. But he's going to hit, man. Like he is going to flat out hit.
I think Alex Gordon would be a good one as well.
But I just said that. I said I keep calling him Alex Gordon. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you threw a Nolan Gorman in high school.
No, Gorman too. That was the most recent like third baseman high school that I could think of. But anyway, I thought Bo Peterson did a great job going out there. Jacob Lombard, obviously. EJ Booth, who was my biggest winner from the summer, he comes out, and seeing him in person go through the workouts, he ran a 6.25 60. Like he's that first step out of the box. He went 3.9 down the line on a ground out during the game.
I had 401. I had 401, but you had 3.9. Okay, I'll take.
You had a little glitch. Maybe YouTube had a little glitch for you there. I was, but like his BP, even more so on game day. Like we had mocked him in the first round. I felt great about it. I would have him ahead of Dylan Head. Dylan Head went in the first round. Great player for the Padres, and now with the Marlins, I'd have EJ Booth ahead of him if we had him.
As well as he runs, like that's obviously super impressive, right? But like I was more impressed with just this is the strength of his wrists and his forearms. Oh my goodness. Like guys who have that can also run, that's where you get kind of a special player, right?
Yeah. So I thought he looked great throughout the workouts. Rocco Maniscalco, who up class, switch hitter. He was in the 27 class. He'll now be 17-1, I believe, on draft day. And he's going to be, we're going to shift over a little bit to the 27s here and bring them into the fold because Maniscalco is so young, but he went out defensively in the workouts, in the gameplay. He went backhand across his body on the fly, which was an excellent play in game. I thought he elevated his status. Like anybody who was not super sure about him, because at East Coast Pro, he was still an underclassman. He comes to the future games of next week, then he reclasses from there. Really made an impact. I think with what's ironic is he is a natural righty. I find his left-handed swing to be ahead of the right-handed swing, even though he's a natural righty. Talk to me, Seif, one about what you saw from Maniscalco. You got a quick look, and he kind of swung through some stuff.
Although that was my notice, and not to go on the negative train here, but he did miss some cookies. I mean, he swung through some cookies down the middle. A little bit longer swing for me from the right side than the left, but average bat speed from both sides. So only going to get better. When I say average, I'm thinking pro level. I'm not saying, he's a 16-year-old. He has average bat speed for a 16-year-old. That's certainly not. He has average bat speed for a professional player. So, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, what impressed me the most was he's just a high-level defender. It's like, wow, he just made that play. So obviously the defenses have the offense right now, but that's just not anything. The offense will get better as he matures, bigger, stronger, faster, like they all do. So now he's an outstanding one, and glad he did reclass. I didn't realize that was the case. You always incite me well on these war rooms.
It's a difficult evaluation, and we're going to talk about like getting that track record and having the longer evaluation period. 17-1. So Aiden Ruiz, who's outstanding. I think he's got a chance to be a first rounder in New York. Rocco's more than 2 years younger than Aiden Ruiz. The evaluation process, and one of the big things that I've noticed in the 3 years of doing this, which is really cool about us having the two teams side by side, there's a notable physicality gap between the two classes, right? And in that year, it seems the build, right? Those seniors, there's something that comes in and those guys get stronger over that year. And now you're looking at Maniscalco, who's 2 years younger than a lot of these guys in this class, in the 26 class. What could he be a year from now on draft day? What could he be the next year where he still would be in high school? So I think those are some things that some departments are going to have to take into account when they're considering where to draft him, because he's still a baby. You get up close to him in the face, like he's still just a little baby, even though he's got these high level skills. It's going to be curious. And I don't know how you would dive into it. Like what would be your focus? How would you take the age into account?
Well, I think you certainly have to. I mean, without a doubt. But even with that said, at the end of the day, tools are tools, right? So you take the age and the tools and the projection and body type. Why he does have projection. Mm-hmm. but you can't pay too much for projection, right? Like you take
Yeah.
into consideration, but like if you consistently pay for projection, you're probably going to over project too much, and you're not going to have a job very long. So he's a tough one, but he's going to be a one to obviously bear down on in spring and just see the improvement from the start of spring to the end of spring. Just keep on him, just like everybody else.
It'll be very fascinating. But along those 27 lines, like this player who not only this summer I thought like he would have a chance to be the best player in any class, but Dylan Seward, from where he started the summer with a 6'1", 60 at Pepperdine, 5-tool potential. You didn't get a chance to see like the workout of him at shortstop. Now the 27 class, and I said it a bunch on the broadcast, like these shortstops have a lot of 2025 in them, right? There's a lot of them, and there are even guys that were not at the event who were outstanding first round type talents. But Dylan Seward, he would have a chance to go 1-1 in this year's draft. Like that's how good and talented he is, tools wise. He is a real shortstop, can swing it for both sides. Had his marquee moment. He goes almost backside. EJ Booth tried to chase it down, but he goes inside the park home run. It's just so smooth, everything he does, and there's a lot of value, and there's tons to get excited about for 2027. Especially if you're the Rockies or the White Sox, and like if you don't get the first pick this year, and you're like maybe next year. What did you see from Dylan Seward?
You got me here. I took great notes. Well, as good as I can take notes on all the 26s, and the only 27 I took notes on is the guy I would consider for number 1 overall in 27 was Connor Salerno. So if you want to talk about Connor, I'm all in shooter. Otherwise, Dylan Seward, I believe everything you just said about him.
Let's go side by side, because Connor Salerno came out and like it's a tough class. I was talking to somebody about the ranking of this 27 class. I was like, it's going to be in flux for a while because there's so much talent and like so much front end. And you talk about Dylan Seward's number 2 in the class. He's a switch hitter, 5-tool, runs a 6'1". He's a plus defender on the left side with a plus arm. Gets rid of it in a hurry. Salerno comes out and he was just an absolute alpha on the mound. An explosive fastball. No need for a slider because he was just throwing pitches by some of the best hitters in the country who are going to be big-time draft guys. And he was only at 90 and 92, where he was 94, 97 East Coast Pro. But the fastball metrics, and one of the cool things is like 4-seam, 2-seam, he knows what he's doing with the pitch profiles and the shapes, which was really outstanding. But more than anything, Seif, talk about the moxie of this dude. It was dripping off him during that inning.
It was a short look, like you said. It wasn't an immaculate inning, but was it 11 pitchers or 12? I don't know if I miscounted by one.
11.
Okay, 11. That's why I put in my note. But
I think it was 6 whiff. I thought we had 9 whiffs. It was 6, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing he could have done better. I mean, like he's big and physical, right? He's 90-93, high RPMs, subtracted with he only threw 1 or 2 changeup, but I mean, it was pounded the zone, confident, like you said, the moxie, super impressive. Yeah, he definitely set the tone.
And I kind of said he's kind of on an island right now, although you didn't get a chance to see Jared Grindlinger, who was another gold medalist for Team USA. He's a southpaw. He's number one player in the class. He's another 93 to 96, but also swung it well. I thought he took really good at bats for a guy who didn't hit over in Japan. Like probably hasn't seen live pitching that much, but he took excellent at bats. Jared Grindlinger he is that dude. He's got some Pete Crow Armstrong to him when he steps on the mound. There's some aura, guys gravitate towards him. But Salerno, Seif, I know we got the 3 frontline guys this year, but I've kind of talked about like Salerno next to them. There would be some questions. Who do we take first?
Yeah.
So having guys like that at the top, go through. Chubb Jones moves really well. He ran a 6'5", good athlete on the bump. Jacob Turner, who had huge power from the left side, he hopped on the bump for an inning. I think his bat's going to continue to be one of the bigger things. It's 6'4", 200 pounds out of Vegas. Graham Keane, a big theme in this is two-way guys. Graham Keane, who has like a Chris Bryant type frame at third base. He moved really well, can swing it. Like there were guys, I've talked about this in the past with Graham Keane. He's a Pittsburgh kid, same high school as Ian Happ, Mount Lebanon, just outside of Pittsburgh. But hey, he might be a PO. And then other guys, are you crazy? This guy's a hitter. I don't think there's need to like push him off of either. He was 90-93. Great inning. I loved how he performed on the mound, the way he moved. Then he took some really good at-bats, swings throughout. George Ferguson was like a big right-hander in this class. He's our number 1 right-handed arm. He came out 94 to 96, Seif. We were talking about Nathan Eovaldi. I mean, I guess we always talk Alvin, Texas guys, big square shoulder. Then we're looking for Nolan Ryan frames, right? These guys who throw hard. But George Ferguson, his secondary stuff beyond the 94 to 96 was devastating. And I think he's got a shot to continue to add. Quinn Fitzpatrick along the same lines, a righty from the Houston area. He comes out 94, 95, pinpoint, moves stuffs around. He had a really good outing. Davis Wilson, the guy with the unique arm stroke, Seif, the NorCal product. And I think I talked about it. Davis Wilson was outstanding at the Future Games. There's no comfortable at bat to him. Every pitch is doing something different. I think when I was looking back, I was like, there were 6 different pitch profiles and shapes that he was tossing up there, with the death ball thing that he tosses. That's a cutter that is absolutely gross, but also a changeup to kind of divert off of that. Fastball, 4-seam, up all 4 quadrants, slider. I love those unique stuff because there's sometimes where oh, this guy's got great arm action. Well, like, it's great for me to time up at the plate. I just like can see it really easily, right? I'm sure you've seen plenty of those guys where it's like it's so loose and easy, and it's so loose and easy to hit. Davis Wilson's not that guy. It's funky. Logan Bristol, who he actually ended up giving up a run or so, but I thought he started off, he went back-to-back backdoor sliders to start things. And I'm looking at Will Brick behind the dish. Right on right, they're like purposely going there, and he hit the mitt. It was outstanding. I think he went 3 sliders to start for a strikeout. He was up to 92. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. Talking with him, his pitches and shapes, he understands way beyond what I do. So he's been locked in. And then Caden Wozniewski, hopefully you were watching your Illinois guy there, Scythe, because he is flat electric. And I told him, I was like, hey, you're closing things out because I know how tough you are, and it just makes me feel warm and fuzzy that Caden Wozniewski's in the back end to close things. So he came out and was just explosive in a 1-2-3 inning that was dominant. So those were your 2027 arms, and they were outstanding.
Yeah, and I apologize for not my brain wasn't in working mode to cover every pitch on both sides of the ball for that entire game. I literally got home at 2 a.m. from Iowa Junior College showcase on all day Friday that went into the morning hours, and then a 4.5-hour drive. So I was in decent shape by noon Central the next day, but I was certainly not in scout both teams every pitch. So sorry about the 27 shooter. I apologize.
You're good. Well, that's why I'm here to kind of go through and give some time. I want to hop back to the 26, kind of some of the position players as well. We talked about Maniscalco, Kinniger, Sean Dunlap, who's our top catcher in the class. He had a tough gameplay. Like, you're facing dudes on the mound. I was telling somebody, I was like, you go to a showcase, like, it's usually especially if you're hitting second, right? The first guy strikes out. The second guy usually gets a breaking ball first pitch. It's a strike. And now you're in a hole against an arm that you're going to see one time. It can be tough. He was outstanding in a defensive workout, like an absolute cannon.
He looked good, but I mean, he looked like a professional back there. And, at the plate, though, like you said, I mean, just they gave him a lot of sliders. He did not like the sliders, and that's what he kept hitting against premier pitchers. So, he certainly looked really good back behind the dish.
Yeah, he had to face Salerno. Like, there was a lot going against him, but like, outstanding frame, the athleticism. He's another Tennessee recruit. Booth, we talked about. Trevor Condon, who we had Sean Casey there, the mayor. He's talking to everybody. Trevor Condon, I talked about him. I said he's the governor then, because this guy's mature beyond his years, but he plays at 170 million% at all times. He's got moxie, he hops in the box. He had a single in the gameplay, showed off some sneaky pop to the pull side, which I keep looking at him. Go ahead.
He just takes a daddy hack. I mean, he's 5'10", 170. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's about right.
I mean, like, just daddy hack and huge bat speed. And it's different-ish body type, like, as far as the width of it, but like, he's kind of like Drew Gilbert, right? Like, that's the type of aggressive hack from the left side that you'd see. Yeah, he was super impressive, just how he just got up there and swung it.
And it was good to see, like, 95 from the outfield, the arm strength's there. It's impressive human to be around, and he just did a really nice job throughout the weekend. He was excited to be everywhere. I think teams are going to love sitting down with him and understanding where he's coming from. Tons of energy. I thought he did really well for himself. Landon Tomei, I'm just going down the lineup here. Landon Tome takes the best at bats of any player in this class. Nobody slows things down like he does. And it's impressive to see he got off that big swing with 97 miles per hour off the bat, where had a chance to bolt the guys. But obviously, we bring nothing but gazelles to the outfield who can really just go out and get it. And they tracked it down. But he really tracks. If Landon Tome takes a pitch, it's a ball. Like, we're at that level of how good his eye is. And he's only going to get better. I was talking to him, like, his dad didn't really blow up. Jim Tomei, Hall of Famer, obviously, didn't get bigger until post-high school. Just learning about that. And I was saying, like, was your dad's, like, smaller than his brother? It's like, oh, well, I guess, yeah, my uncle's 6'6", 300 pounds. I was like, whoa, let's talk about this. So
Wow.
right now, Atlanta's just 6'1", 185. He's got a chance to get bigger, but the swing is already there. And more than anything, those swing decisions are super impressive, Sight. I was blown away by Landon Tomei.
Yeah, I think the swing decisions are a function of having a Hall of Fame father, right? Like, that's pretty good advisor there. But I was joking with the area scout who signed Jim Thome, as I guess out of junior college, first year junior college player, is still scouting today. Awesome guy, name's Tom Poussin. He still scouts, and he's with the Rays now. But I was joking with him the other day. Wouldn't it be awesome to sign the father and now the son? Like, so I'm not predicting the Rays take Thome, but that would be super, super cool to see.
That would be incredible. Did a nice job defensively. Brady Harris might be my favorite player in the class. I might be biased at this point just because I love the way he carries himself at all times. He's a winner. And okay during BP, like, it was a long summer for him. You got to watch him at that at one of the games this summer where he had 2 or 3 hits, can use the whole field. He had I think it's last at bat. Yeah, I'm looking down here. He had a single, walk, struck out in his last at bat, but I thought he took some of his best swings. Like, he just missed a couple pitches before he got elevated on late. I anticipate a monster spring from Brady Harris, and those guys who have been in there, he's got long track record, can really play center field. The arm works. I love everything about him. The makeup, it's going to push him through the roof. Any scouting directors, front office guys, GMs, analytics, like, he's beyond analytics. He's manalytics. You get after it and you really dive deep. Brady Harris is going to do it. So it was, as always, a treat to be around Brady Harris throughout the weekend. Noah Wilson, who had a broken hand throughout the spring season, so he kind of came back late. I thought his workout day, like his BP, was really impressive. The backside power, which you didn't get a chance to see, but like, he was driving the backside gap with ease. Now, had 2 strikeouts in the game, happens, some left on left action, but he took some really good workout action throughout the week. Frames there, lots of metrics that are going to be friendly to my man Noah Wilson. And then the guy who, from up top at Marlins Lone Depot Park, we're all the way in the rafters, right? Corey and I calling the game. You could see Dom Santorelli's quads from up in the box. And I was talking, I said that, like, his quads looked like Juan Gonzalez in 94 with the Rangers, like the powder blues painted on. He was impressive to be around, just working middle of the field. And like, he was not selling out. And talk with Andy Soroka, who in Wisconsin, he's like, hey, Dom's BP, like, he's not going to start yanking balls. Like, he's going to work middle and try to explode the L screen for a bit. And then on game day, took a really good round of BP. I think he went dead center. He was like the one guy who was able to go dead center throughout batting practice stuff. But obviously, he actually got hit by a pitch in his first at bat, which was like a huge bummer to not see him get a swing there. But you've seen it. We've talked about it. It's like a tough profile because the first base left fielder, kind of physical, super physical beyond, but a great kid, and he's super athletic. He ran a 6'7", 60.
Yeah, he's kind of the opposite of Rocco, right? Like, Rocco, you're like, all right, man, fill out, gain some strength, so project. There's not much projection here. I mean, like, you are getting a pro-ready body, and what you see is what you get, and it's pretty darn good. So I'm not sure at the end of the day where he fills out, but he's another guy. Hey, I'm gonna start him second, third round and go from there.
See where it goes. Those Wisconsin guys continue to raise their level. John Stowers, catcher, he had a double in the game. Also, I think he had like an infield single. We'll give it an infield single.
Yeah, a little slow roller. He hooked it and got a little slow roller.
I think Jared Grindley was out first. He went a little too far to his right on that one. But he is excellent.
I really like. I mean, his swing is next at bat though, man. He was long through the zone, that double to right field. He was around the ball, but he was long through it. So it's a swing that's going to play. And I thought he received really well behind the plate too. Now he's not the greatest runner, but he's got a lot to like.
No, it's uphill. And I told him during the home run derby, I was like, I got you, because his swing is so grooved. It's like slightly uphill. It works. He nearly won it. So I almost was on with that. But I love the way he defends. Can really stick it. The catch and throw is outstanding on the bag. And every time we talk about high school catchers, right? Oh, they're only okay. They get devalued. And on all of a sudden, guys like John Stowers step into Auburn and they become Mike Irish, right? Like all of a sudden you become a first rounder because college catchers have tons of value. I'm betting on John Stowers. Love what he's about. Let's get to the last two guys here from the 26 class, because there were two ways who had thrown complete game, kind of carried Team USA to victory. But Coleman Borthwick and Gio Rojas. I'll start with Gio just because I think he's way more arm as the premier lefty in the class. He and Carson Bowman, who was in attendance, another guy who went CG and leading Team USA to that championship. It's great to see those two guys. They're both going to be top 10 picks potentially. But Rojas is so athletic. Like, he's got quick hands at the dish, even though he's a lefty thrower, righty hitter. He would have a chance to be a two-way at Miami if he would make it there. I don't think he's making it there. He's going to be probably a top 10 pick.
Yeah,
but outstanding kid. He actually looked like maybe an inch taller. I want to talk about Borthwick, though, with you, because he is one of the more intriguing prospects in this class because of the two-way capability, and even more so, the direction that the game has gone in. Right? What is a 50? What's a 45 hitter? Like what is his batting average at this point?
240s, right?
240
and 240 somewhere. Yeah.
How are you going to take Coleman Borthwick, who I think had a Paul Skeens-esque summer and was 95, 98? I talked with him. He changed the grip with his pitching coach, who should be awarded some sort of medal, because the slider that he's gotten to has now become a plus pitch and has put him in Skeens-esque rarefied air on the mound. But if you're talking about a kid who might hit 40 home runs, how do you walk away from the bat? And does he have a chance to actually be a two-way? He's done it his whole life. What do you think would happen, your Seifert? What did you see from him at the plate?
I just saw the two at bats, the walk.
He walked in the strikeout.
Yeah, walk in the backwards case. So there wasn't a lot of evaluation going on there. But just like all of them, right? Like, I mean, Jack Caglione, right? Two-way guy. Well, he's going to hit first. I think he's like anybody else. Let him hit first. If the hitting doesn't work, there's not Ohtani, right? Like, he is the exception, and we have seen a proliferation of two-way guys, which is great. But at the end of the day, most of them, 90%, getting a pro ball, hit first, and then the fallback is the pitching. So, there are exceptions, but Borthwick, I didn't see enough of the bat to make a prediction there, but as far as just a general prediction, that's kind of what it's done.
And I'd say even beyond, because of what he did on the mound, the advancements, I talk about that slider, I think he's got a little more leeway to go and hit, because some guys you come in like, right, oh, he's throwing hard. Well, like, we have to work on these touch pitches. He needs X and X to get these innings, to use that pitch, to feel comfortable. He's already got some comfort in electric stuff, a la Billy Carlson, who had a innate feel for spin. He could kind of go off and hit. What do you think it does to his draft stock? So, like, let's say, like, I think Coleman Borthwick's a first rounder. Like, he's there. It's a first round arm. We'll see what happens with the bat, but I mean, it's super quiet power. Like, he doesn't have to do much to get to it. He's sending balls into the rafters at Lone Depot. Is there a chance where, like, hey, I want to hit, like, I don't want to split, but like, it's easier for me in college to go and do both and then potentially be the first pick? Like, I'll be curious to see what the spring reveals.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, options are always good, right? But yeah, he's definitely an interesting two-way guy.
And like, I keep talking about all these kids, like how great the makeup was, talking with them. Like, he is like salt of the earth, panhandle, just like a good old boy, gets out there, shakes your hand off. Yeah, I'm trying to win the home run derby. Hey, I know you threw a CG for Team USA. Do you want to take in and out at third? Like, hey, if you want to. He's like, yeah, I'm all good. Like, he's got a little country accent to it. Like, it's a treat being around him. Obviously, son of a coach, awesome kid. Let me wrap up, Seth, because I want to give you a breakdown before we talk a little bit more on this meaty episode, Prep Baseball American Game recap. with the 27th, getting that first look at these guys. Like, this is a huge deal for the scouting directors in attendance, right? You don't forget a lot of things. Like Dylan Seward hitting a backside home inside the park home run, the speed, the workouts. Like, he's already on a list where teams that are expecting to win World Series are crossing him off. He's not getting us type deal. So he was outstanding. Grant Westfall, who was a metrics warrior, he's from Kansas. His brother's at Texas, a pitcher. Really good stuff. I was talking to him about his brother because I think he's going to have a chance to be really good with Max Weiner down there at UT. But Grant Westfall, bat the ball from the left side, he ran a 6.5, massive workout numbers across the board. I was blown away by how good his BP was too. Like, the bat the ball, there's definitely power from the left side. He's a true center fielder. It's a big reason why he's a number 4 player in our class. He's going to stick up the middle. He's a left-handed hitter. The bat the ball, swing decisions, check. It's all there. So he was excellent. Took really good at bats. Walked, I talked about, had 2 walks in the game. Seward, who we will be talking a lot about Dylan Seward over the next 2 years. And you want to know a fun fact here, Seif, and I'm going to get on the soapbox here because we talk a lot about high school baseball in Southern California. And Corona High School last year, the last 2 years, has been awesome, right? Seth Hernandez, Billy Carlson, Brady Ebel. The Ebels are still there. Ethan Schiefelbein, who was a $2 million arm. All these arms, they're in the same division, Norco High School. So Dylan Seward plays against them. They're in the same. Also in that same little conference here is San Diego. Who's at San Diego? Striker Pence. Striker Pence, who at area codes threw 11 straight pitches 100 miles an hour.
He's okay. Yeah.
It's when we're going through all like, oh, this kid in Jersey, this kid in Pennsylvania, he hit 743, whatever it may have been, right? In Wisconsin, Illinois, these guys hitting 280 in this conference seems like a pretty good feat when you face Seth Hernandez and Ethan Schiefelbein one week. You go Striker Pence the next week. Like, how do you even get at bats? I'm just leaving geometry. I'm just a poor little sophomore. I had double chem today, just trying to get out there and get one hit in front of mom and dad, and I got to face these guys.
Not everybody has double chem like you, future Tulane star. So not double chem as a sophomore in high school. But I get your point. Yeah, that is a bit challenging. I know. Yeah. You don't see that very often.
The Big 8. Forgive me if it's not the Big 8, but like, I just can't get over that. I think that's the name of the division. But imagine that 2-week spell where you're facing all those guys, and you're like, "Oh, he stinks. He went 1 for 15." You think?
I think I had a bad ham. I'd have a bad hammy that week.
These guys go to NHSI to like get back hot. Like, they're going, "Hey, NHSI was like an off week for us. We got to get some easy swings off." Sebastian Castillo, who I thought his defense really stood out. Now, talking with Max Semler in Texas, he was our MVP of the future games, but he was even better in person. Like, outstanding family, just being around. He moved really well at shortstop. And Max had told me that. He's like, I'll put it on right now. That's a plus defender out there. It is obviously a plus arm. He's 90-92 on the bump. Kind of surprising power to me from the right side that was able to see. So that was impressive as well. Lubin Rincon, who has exploded. He's a top 10 player in the class, 6'3", 6'4", continues to get bigger and stronger. I was really intrigued to see his workout, Seif, and it's almost, there's a mix of like Riley Green, kind of that quiet approach from the left side where the barrel stays in the zone forever. The power that he showed off in BP, I was like, oh, I was unaware that you had this because he's so patient in game at times. He moved well in the infield. Graham Keane, we talked about already, was outstanding. Drake Hopp, I don't know if you can remember Brad Hopp. Obviously, it's etched into my mind, that gorgeous swing. I'm going to put something out there because I've been trying to put my finger on it of what does Drake Hopp's swing look like? There's like a little bit of Bonds in there. Now, nobody's buried Bonds, right? But the way the hands get into the trigger and the launch position and the ability to turn the barrel, there's some Bonzian action. He sent some balls that just are not right to be sent as far as they were in BP from the left side. He had a single game, really good 2-strike at bat, and then it was kind of like a big league single, right? Like, it looks like a ground ball up the middle. Oh yeah, that was 99 off the bat. Like, he shouldn't be doing that as a junior. He's got huge upside. Love the bat there. Broder Kaki behind the dish can really stick. I don't know if you were able to watch those guys. It's something I think about a lot for these All-American games. Hey, the catchers need to be able to receive. You got one guy for one inning. You probably never caught him before. You better have some confident hands. Katke had those. He was trying to pick guys all over the place because he's got a really good arm. Did a nice job behind the plate. He is outstanding in workouts as well. Like the swing's really there. I went up to him and said, "Hey, I didn't give you enough of respect. Like you can really swing it. So you have my respect. I will be going forward." Awesome kid to be around. Lash Henderson, I'm sure you got a chance to see him. He had a really nice at bat. 6'4", square shouldered, from the Dallas area. Excellent 2-strike swing. He's been on the scene for a while now, so it's tough, right? You get that bullseye early. You're already kind of bigger, athletic, more athletic than everybody around it. It's easy to rest on those laurels. He has not. He has taken things to another level. It's a simple stroke that yields explosive power. I like the direction that Lash Henderson's going in right now. Sushi Wilson, he's actually from Chicagoland site. He's down at IMG now. I said it on the broadcast, but like I'm buying stock in Sushi Wilson. I love his at-bats. I love the intent that he brings to each swing. It's controlled aggression. He really tracks well. You should not be able to track that well as a Chicagoland kid who does not have the same at-bats as a kid would in Georgia or Southern California. He gets off some dangerous swings. And I think he ran a 6'4" or 6'5" at the event. He can play center field. I think he's one of the best hitters in the class, and I think he's only going to get better. I don't know if you saw any of them. I'm going to let you come in while I take.
Yeah, I don't. How can you forget a name like Sushi Wilson? But yeah, no, really good ball player, and like you give me all this background on these guys. But yeah, the name.
Yeah, I'm trying to give as much of Jared Grindlinger, who I talked about already. Like, especially in the front end, it's important. Like rankings wise, like the top 30, 40, like those guys are all like they're in a key tier 1 bucket. Like, especially you go to the top 10, you can mix guys up. When you start getting to the top, and you know this as well as anybody, like the skills are key, but the mentality and the makeup come into play just as much, especially when you get in the upper echelon, right? Hey, we're going to give this guy $8-9 million. We better know what we're getting in this guy. Jared Grindlinger is that dude. He has that aura to him, that confidence that is not cocky by any means, but he's very confident in his own skin. He's not a first baseman. He can go over and catch the ball at first base. He's going to be more than athletic. He had no reason to take as good of at-bats as he did against the arms that he saw, having not really faced live arms in probably a month. Now, he didn't pitch the game, but like he was outstanding. He worked deep into counts. I think he fell behind with 2 strikes early each time he was up there. Just looking down, he had a walk and then 4-3, which was a firm barrel. I can't say enough about good things about the number 1 player in the class, Jared Grindlinger. Graham Houston, switch hitter, and Seif, another switch hitter, because Seward's a switch hitter as well. I've heard some guys in the past, like, you don't see switch hitters anymore. Well, like, get ready. The American switch hitter has returned.
They're coming back.
They are coming back, and Graham Houston looked the part. He's a brother of Merrick Houston, who's already off to a good start with the Twins out of Wake Forest. He's a switch hitter. His bat's beyond where Merrick was. It is well beyond where Merrick was at the same time. He can really pick it. Love the way that he handled himself in a professional manner.
That sounds like a future first rounder for sure.
It's one of those high floor, like this kid, we're going to see how high this ceiling goes, but the floor is already there. And I actually, going back to Seward, I was asking these guys, like, when did you pick up switch hitting? And I'll be curious to follow this. And Seward brought it up. He's like, I picked it up during COVID. Like I was in California, like we put a cage in the backyard and I started switch hitting, and I'll be curious to see if we get more of it because of all the free time you had, right? That we couldn't play games. We had to do this. And I just started working on the other side.
Couldn't leave your yard. Yeah.
So I'll be curious to see that, but like the switch hitters are definitely coming back. There are more of them than I have seen. A lot of 2-ways and a lot of switch hitters. Baseball is just.
Yeah, who would have thought a benefit of COVID would be switch hitters?
I just like thought about it like recently. I was like, I wonder if COVID, but me being like COVID, I thought like was just yesterday. But Seward is like, oh, I picked it up like when I was like 10 during COVID. I was like, oh my gosh, you were 10 years old during COVID. That's true. So anyway, Graham Houston, another like top 10 player in the class. Love it. Max Hemingway, he's another guy at IMG. He played shortstop next to first rounder. Oh my gosh. Sean Gamble, I'm sorry, to the Royals this year. It's super crisp, polished. He's from the state of Washington, Puyallup High School. Before he went down to IMG, got some work, and he moved the barrel around as well. He actually had a sac fly. I think it was the first run. Was able to get 2 strikes, work oppo, really firm. I thought he was going to bolt the left fielder, but he did not. Obviously, another super high floor. We're just going to envision on just how high the ceiling can get on him. Banks Addison, another left-hand hitting shortstop. He's got some moxie to his game. Top 25 player in the class. Thought he did a nice job throughout workouts and pregame in and out with a glove to hand. Love the way he carries himself. Jake Turner, we already talked about. And I'm going to wrap things up, Seif, with he was already everybody's favorite player. Nothing I heard all summer, and I got to watch a lot of him. And I've labeled him. He's very similar to Kyle Teal, the way Kyle Teal handles himself. Has tons of energy. But Will Brick, and it takes a lot, Seif, to do this as a right-handed hitting catcher, to say, like, I am all in on Will Brick. And I sleep easy knowing that there's a person in the world like Will Brick. But
hey, whatever it takes, I like it.
It's energy through the roof. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But not only that, he's got the metrics. He won the hitting metric award, which was a data deep dive, blast motion, TrackMan. He just tests off the charts. He can play anywhere in the diamond, but he's a real catcher, powerful arm, and he can really swing from the right side, has huge power, the hands. Everything about him checks the boxes. And more than anything, his makeup checks every single box. I can't say enough about Will Brick. It was a treat to be around him. I completely understood why he was in Japan as just an underclassman, because he makes you feel good when he's behind the dish and when he's out there and on the team in general. So
I'm in, shooter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm selling. So that right there is the 2026 and 2027s. Ethan Bass, actually, he was in attendance as well, but he had broken his finger. He got hit by a pitch, which stunk. Ethan Bass going to have his chance to be a top 40 pick. I am excited. I told him, hey, the Super 60, that's going to be your coming out party. I think we'll see a fair amount of these guys at the Super 60 on February 1st as these scouts come out of hibernation, I would assume. But Sight, that was a nice meaty episode on the Prep Baseball All-American Game. Anything else for you wrapping up what you got to see?
No, I'm all JUCO right now. I got some more JUCO games this weekend, and then I'll shift gears into the the Division I for college. Those seasons have started, kind of, sort of. They get really, really good and really meaty into October, but that's what I have coming up. So.
Outstanding. Well, the next year's All-American Game is already on the books. Or not on the books. We're already looking into it. What can we do better? How do we make it even better? Where are we going to be? You can look forward to all of that being announced in the future. Make sure you're staying tuned. Head over to prepbaseball.com. Check out all the action coming out of the All-American Game. Check out shop.prepbaseball.com. I don't think this is on there yet, but these are all the Prep Baseball logo. I
do need one of those for sure.
It's a pretty fresh shirt. We got some good hats over there that I've been rocking. But until next time, this has been another episode of The War Room, and we will see each and every one of you at the ballpark.